Hello, Facebook family. During this critical time, we have a very special message just for you. Thanks so much for joining us today as we encourage you to give hope, to give life, to be a blessing. Be a Blessing is Mid-South Transplant Foundation's faith-based initiative, which includes the support of local religious organizations, encouraging congregations and communities to become a registered organ and tissue donor. With over 113,000 people across the country waiting for a life-saving organ and over 4,000 in the Mid-South alone, our message continues to ring true about the importance and the need for registered organ and tissue donors to help save lives. Today, you will hear from 6 local religious leaders who not only support organ and tissue donation personally, but encourage their congregations to become registered organ and tissue donors as well. So without further ado, please turn your attention to the live preview of our signature faith-based documentary, Be a Blessing.
Jesus reminded us a long time ago. He says, greater love has no man than this, than he who would lay down his life for a friend.
We have to be willing to give our most, and to give of your organs is really symbolic of your most.
Donating a heart or donating a kidney can help someone to have a second chance at life. What greater legacy can one leave?
God has given each one of us the ability to continue to be a blessing even after we leave here. And so you can be the change for someone else.
I was shook when they gave me the diagnosis that you're gonna need a transplant. And if you don't get a transplant, you could die. I could die. I mean, that's enough in itself. Then, like at that point, there's nothing you can go do. You can't go pick out an organ. My cousin Bernard, he even, asked the doctor, well, how much it gonna cost? I'm like, you can't go buy a liver, brother. But after being shook and coming to grips or whatever, and at that point, I had made my mind up. It's just time to fight now. That's all. One of the doctors there at the hospital, my condition was declining even worse and worse. And so then one Friday, called the family. There's nothing else we can do. He has 2 days to live. But May 30th came, and went into pre-surgery prep. I came out a changed man. Because of that now, I'm a donor. I wasn't before. My family now are transplant, organ donors. And I'm so thankful and grateful for my second life.
When we pass from this world, we move on to the next.
When this earthly tabernacle shall be dissolved, we have another building that's not made by hand.
Our bodies will be resurrected with our souls.
We can't take eyes, hearts, kidneys with us.
I want to die whole. I want to die intact. I want to die with everything that I have. All of those are just questions out of fear or statements out of fear.
Because I believe that these bodies decay and because I believe that God is on the side of life, what greater legacy can one leave than to know that they're giving somebody a second chance at life?
God has given each one of us the ability to continue to be a blessing
by leaving behind assets that other people can use. So why not leave them for somebody who can live life better because we live life well?
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
Everybody else in the car moving and saying something, and he wasn't saying nothing. Oh, it was a hurtful day. Hurtful day.
Was blind, but now I see.
I was the only one that was per se conscious at the med. And when we got there, My cousin, who's a person that I look up to, he said, there's some people here that want to talk to you. And I got mad because I just lost the most precious thing in my life. And here were people asking me about my son's organs.
The family were, they were in the hospital and they were being asked. And so the challenge is, do we or don't we? And how could someone have the nerve to ask us this at this moment?
And after probably about 10 or 15 minutes, the transplant people came in and told me they were finna leave. And I told them, I said, no, you ain't gonna believe this, but sitting here talking to God, and the good Lord told me to do it.
So you allow them to filter all of those emotions and those thoughts, and then come to the realization that what would it hurt, and who could it help?
Had the car accident, got mad at God, and swore not to go to church again because I got so mad at God. And just like I said, that small, still voice of God spoke to me and told me, get mad all you want, but you're gonna need me.
African Americans are disproportionately affected by a lack of organ donation, but we are also disproportionately represented when it comes to organ donation.
African American organs and tissue match African American organs and tissue better.
I think we have to do more to get the word out to other African Americans that, hey, this is a need, and it is a need that needs to be met by African Americans.
As a result, I'm pushing everybody I can to make sure that they register to become an organ and a tissue donor.
As Christians, we know that giving has always been a part of our DNA. Giving our time, giving our talent, and giving our time.
Creating a culture of giving in your congregation brings about residual effects.
Organ and tissue donation is within that giving spirit, and it has the same effect.
As a Christian, you should give and encourage those in your congregation to register to be an organ and tissue donor.
We can help make a difference in Memphis, in Shelby County, by taking the consideration of another person's life.
And people in need of organ and tissue donation of some kind.
So organ donation should be a religious imperative, not a question mark.
So we want you to register today to be an organ and tissue donor, because it's all about life. It's all about saving and enhancing lives.
Not only are we grateful for the support of local clergy, helping us to spread the word about the need of organ and tissue donation in the religious communities, but we're also very appreciative of those in the entertainment community to help us spread the word about our life-saving mission. World-renowned recording artist Kirk Whalum, along with his daughter Courtney Whalum, shared their experience with organ and tissue donation as they encountered the need right at home.
Hello, I'm Kirk Whalum, and I'm a registered donor.
And I'm Courtney Whalum, and I am a living kidney donor. We want to talk a little bit about our story and why we're here working with Mid-South Transplant. So nearly 7 years ago, I donated a kidney for my best friend's brother. This was his second transplant. My best friend actually donated the first time, and after 14 years, his body rejected that kidney. So I stepped up, offered to be a donor. Unfortunately, I wasn't a direct match for him, but fortunately for us, his transplant center proposed another option for us, and that was being part of a paired exchange, which means I donated my kidney to an anonymous recipient in exchange for an anonymous donor donating to him. To this day, I still don't know who my recipient was, but what I do know is that my intended recipient, which was my best friend's brother, is living an amazing life. He is now married. He just celebrated the birth of his first child a month ago. And again, nearly 7 years later, I'm living an amazing life. I've since had a child, and my life has been absolutely amazing. I've had no changes to my life whatsoever. The only thing is maybe I have to drink more water, which I think we all agree would be a great thing. So I want to encourage you guys to consider being a living donor. So that's what I went through. I also want to talk about the perspective of a parent. Like, what's it like as a parent to have your child say, hey, I want to donate a kidney, and then what has life been like for you since that happened?
Sure, and by the way, at any age, when your child is, 20, or when your child is 35 or whatever, saying, I think I'm going to donate a kidney, it's a big deal. You go, whoa, not so fast. But and by the way, the fact that so many more people got to live because you were an angel donor, you decided to donate a kidney anyway, and not just your intended donor, but all these other people, I forget how many, but a lot, got kidneys. But for me, for your mom, for my wife Ruby, all of us were just, it sent us into another kind of, I guess, consideration. You care for this person and you're like, oh man, I don't want you to do anything rash, blah, blah, blah. But, it's like you were way ahead of us, which is cool. I love when that happens. And sure enough, when I got, my head screwed on, right, I said, absolutely, baby, you go right ahead. And you know what, it inspires the rest of us to ask that question, what are we doing that's sacrificial in a really personal way? So yeah, it was scary at first. I flew out to California with you to be part of it, to make sure I was there. And it was just such a great feeling to see you, like you're actually doing this, it was such a beautiful thing.
And I think one of the things that he referred to was how it affected so many more people. So in me donating my kidney, not only did I help my friend Anthony, who again was my intended recipient, but I actually being part of this transplant chain, actually ended up being a part of a chain of 28 transplants. So 28 people got kidneys as a result of us participating in this chain. And had we not done that, most of the people on that list had been removed from a traditional transplant chain. So not only is it important to be a registered donor so that when you pass away, somebody else can receive your organs, but in life, I definitely want people to consider the impact that has. Like, consider all of the people that would normally not be able to receive an organ, and they can only do so if people step up and offer to be a living donor.
Yeah.
So,
and I, by the way, have two very good friends who are, first of all, I had an uncle who finally got a kidney after years, and then I have two dear friends who are both in line waiting, and they've been waiting for a long time. And it's just it's stressful to know that 3 times a week they have to go through dialysis, and it's such a hard life. So yeah, I'm praying for them, that someone like you, that they would follow your footsteps and be a donor, so that my actual friends would have life. It's the difference between life and death.
Right. And we encourage you, if you have questions, if you've considered it, maybe you stepped up to be a donor and somebody told you like you weren't a direct match, there are options. There are so many options available to you. We encourage you to reach out to Mid-South Transplant. Like, reach out to them, ask the questions, get support, get the support that you need, reach out, get the resources that are available to you. In all of this, we encourage you to give hope,
give life,
and be a blessing.
As you can see, there is a great need for registered organ and tissue donors to save the lives of thousands. We are again very appreciative of our community partners, including Courtney Whalum and the nonprofit organization RAKE, Random Acts of Kindness Everywhere. RAKE will feature organ and tissue donation throughout the month of May. For more information how you can get involved, please visit rakenow.org. Now more than ever, it is critical to give hope, to give life, to be a blessing. Become a registered organ and tissue donor at midsouhtransplant.org. If you'd like to get involved with any of our events or campaigns by becoming an ambassador or invite us to speak at your event, you can also visit midsouhtransplant.org. Remember to follow us on social media here on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and more. And remember to join us in giving hope, giving life, and being a blessing right here in the Mid-South. Thank you for tuning in and have a great day.